This weekend I planned on releasing a list analysis for one of my patrons. Unfortunately, real life has a habit of getting in the way, and my intended Saturday release won't be ready for another week. However, as the analysis is for one of my patrons, Aaron, and he requested that I take a look at a fluffy list of his, I figured that instead of doing a deep dive into full-on optimization, I could instead expand on the background he provided me for his list. Don't worry, mate, I've still got some tips and tricks for you in the full breakdown. So I'm going to drop part of the fluff I've recorded for him today. I know it's not much, but I've had a bit of a tough one this week, and I still wanted to be able to share something with you. I've got plenty of content in the works for the coming week though, don't worry. A great interview with my favourite bat rappers is going to drop on Monday, and keep your eyes peeled on YouTube for a poll later this week for which unit to do a deep analysis of next. Plus, plenty of other things on the go. Also, I just found out that Aaron got engaged to his fiancée just a couple of days ago, so I want to wish him and his future wife all the luck in the world. Aaron and Tandy, may you enjoy a happy and loving life together as best friends and each other's greatest supporters, and may the wind blow ever fair at your backs. The aftermath of a battle is always the same. Blood and smoke, the dead and the dying. There are no winners in a field of corpses, except perhaps one. The one who speaks to her now. Sister Sandraudiga shakes her head, clearing the red from her vision. Before her are the slain, so many slain. Traitor Astartes clad in blood-red armour, her sister's ebony smeared in gore, in some sort of morbid effigy to the slain berserkers. It is then that she notices these dead sisters were slain facing her, with wounds inflicted by a weapon that matches that hanging loosely in her grasp. She looks down. A broken chain axe is in her hands. She had not felt the weight of it until then, but it is as though it had adopted its own gravity in that moment. Not just the weight of the steel and adamantium, but of the dozens of her sisters who she now realised were her victims. The sound of bone snapping stirs her from her mournful introspection. She turns, and behind her stands a handful of power-armoured traitors, world eaters. She raises the axe and is met with laughter from the brute leading them.
"We have no quarrel, you and I, sister."
The broken meat of his face hides a cunning that yet permeates from him like the iron tang of blood in the air.
"The blood god speaks to me now, as I know he speaks to you. There is no choice now, no parley, no truce. Karanath has decided. You are to be my executioner. It is done."
The berserker spits blood onto a corpse at his feet, glances at Sandraudiga briefly, nods, and finally places his Sarum pattern helm over his bloodied head. He raises his great axe to her and turns, leading his coterie of berserkers and mutants to their waiting Storm Eagle. Sandraudiga wants to resist, the spark inside her, her love for the Emperor, for her sisters, for the Saints. It is like a raging serpent uncoiling inside her, fighting against this new power, but deeper, much deeper than the conditioning and the devotion. There is something older, darker, and much hungrier than the corpse god. A living, vital, furious power that promises what she truly desires. Blood and skulls.